This is John chapter 7, verse 14. It says, now about the midst of the feast, Yahawashi went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Yahawashi answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. And if any man do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High, or whether I speak of myself. Okay, so the Jews at this time were looking at Yahawashi like, who's this nigga? How is he speaking with so much authority and with so much power, even though he wasn't reared up and taught like we were taught, right? You know, in the temple. Okay?
I was saying that because they was noticing he was right on a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. And because they knew the Lord, man. Yeah. He grew up around that area, okay? So he didn't get respect from amongst his people like that, man. And he didn't come shiny, he didn't come with a fancy suit or anything like that, man. So they were hating on him. Can you get a James 2? James 2 and start at the top. One of the brothers brought this out, and it's a good point. We're going to read it real quick. James 2. All right.
What verse?
Start at the top.
All right. This is James chapter 2. James chapter 2, verse 1. My brethren, have not the faith of the Lord Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
See, there ain't nothing new, man. This whole intent was the same way back then, man. That's how they looked at the disciples. That's how they looked at the apostles. They just looked at them as low-level niggas, man. How is the Most High dealing with these low-level ass niggas?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. You had some of the disciples and apostles that were making money. They had high seats. But a lot of the people that came and followed the Lord were ragtag. You will be considered ragtag, bums. Okay? We don't get that. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts?
Yeah, man. You judging by the flesh, man. You ain't judging spiritually. Go ahead.
Hearken, brethren. Hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him?
See, and the poor of this world, rich in what?
Faith.
They rich in faith. Now, a lot of times, brothers that niggas from the hood be having faith. Man, they might be in some bullshit.
Yeah.
But they always talking about doing this or doing that, you know? Right. You read?
Verse 6. But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you?
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't you niggas oppressed, but you call us bums.
Yeah. You in this captivity just like us, bro. But you treating us like shit. You treating us like the so-called white man treat us, man. You know? Which is crazy.
Because you get rebuked. You know, rebuke is a part of our heritage, man. Didn't it say that the men of the Lord, who the Lord was dealing with, would rise up against anyone who came up against him? You niggas forgot about that, huh? Go ahead, bro.
John chapter 1, verse 44. Yeah. That's what
John 1:44.
Yeah. 1:44.
This is John chapter 1, verse 44. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathanael and saith unto him, we have found him, of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Yahawashi of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And Nathanael said unto him, Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said unto him, Come and see.
He said, Nazareth?
Yeah.
Nigga, please. You see that?
Yeah.
This was the sentiment at that time. He didn't just make that statement just because it was on the top of his mind. that was the sentiment about those people.
Right.
All right, that was the sentiment about the people that was coming out of those different areas, man, preaching Yahawashi.
Ghetto. They were. I mean, when you do the research, the men of the Lord were looked at as troublemakers and thugs. You see what I'm saying? Rebellious. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
But-
you said you had that article?
Yeah, I got it. But another point. The reason why that was a controversy that he came out of Nazareth was when you read in Micah 5:2, the prophecy says, "But thou Bethlehem, Ephrathah, thou being little among thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting." So they were looking from him to come out of Bethlehem, which he was born in Bethlehem, but through persecution of Herod and particular other things, he ended up moving and settling. His family ended up moving and settling into Nazareth.
That's what we're gonna read.
And which was the hood. Now I have this article.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they were like, the prophecy said Bethlehem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These little tedious arguments that they got today, they had them back then. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Let's read this real quick and then we'll open the article.
You want to go straight to Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew 2, and we're just gonna run through this story real quick. We're gonna preach Yahawashi.
Yeah.
All right, this is
So let's talk about his history. Okay.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now-
keep reading.
Now when Yahawashi was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king,
He was born in Bethlehem. Go
There
ahead.
you
like
go.
the prophecy said.
Yeah.
Like the prophecy said
Mm-hmm.
in Micah 5:2. Who was that talking about? Judah, not Jezur. Who was that talking about? Michael the archangel? Go ahead.
Yep.
Now when
And that word Bethlehem means house of bread, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now when Yahawashi was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Hamashiach should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea. And thus it is written by the prophet. Which go back to what you just brought out as Micah.
Right. Exactly.
Verse 6, And thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor, that shall rule my people Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared.
Right now, I want to say this about that star. They were, man, when you look into Moab's history, man, they watched for that star because all nations knew of this Messiah. They had heard about it from back since the garden, back at the time of Enoch even.
Mm-hmm.
So when he finally came, man, there was different, man, you go into these different nations' history, they talk about that, man. And we'll bring that out pretty much on another date. But, man, I'll show you, man, they knew about that.
Yeah.
They studied each event that led up to it and the star and when it came. It was bad, man.
Yeah, the whole history of Yahawashi goes is ancient knowledge, man. It goes all the way back to oral tradition.
Right.
Okay.
Not a mistake or a coincidence.
Yep. And for the edification of Akiam, right now we're reading Matthew the 2nd chapter. What we read before that, we read John chapter 1 down verse 44 through 46. Okay. We're just building on this idea right now. Okay. Talking about how people are going to hate on the men of the Lord, man. You look at them as bums. That's exactly how they looked at them in the scriptures. All right?
All right, this is verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child.
Mm-hmm.
And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also.
Yeah, so he's trying to get this. He's trying to catch the Lord up, man.
Typical snake.
Because according to the prophecy, they saying he's gonna be the King of Kings. He's like, man, he's gonna remove my seat here in Judea.
Yeah.
All the people are gonna come follow him. And it's gonna be an uprising. I gotta take care of this woman. That's what he's thinking. Herod. Okay, go ahead.
When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of the Most High in a dream that they should not return to Herod,
Right.
they departed into their own. Country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt.
So they had to flee into Egypt because they was trying to get the Lord. Go ahead.
And be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
There you go.
When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son.
Right, now a lot of people try to use that prophecy and say that's talking about Israel. I think it's in Hosea.
Hosea 11.
Hosea 11 and I think 2. But that's talking about Yahawashi, man.
Yup.
You can get it if you want to.
Do you want me to? All right, keep it.
Go ahead.
All right, this is verse 16. Matthew 2 and 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the line which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. He never said 3 wise men. He said wise men.
He said wise men. That's it.
Stop adding, man.
Yeah.
And they heard about him too. They heard about the prophecy too. And he hears, we going. They was like, man, you good? I'm going. Shit, nigga, we going, man. We've been talking about this ever since we was little. You hear? I'm going.
That's right.
You know, and let's bring some gifts.
Yeah. Verse 17. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, in Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph.
Yeah, you see all these. You see how all these prophecies are being fulfilled, man. So they were watching for this thing, putting the scriptures together with it. That's why the Lord said, "I came not to destroy, but to fulfill."
And that's what's going on today.
Yeah.
You see these prophecies coming to pass, because now you got to deal with the wars and the rumors of wars and the earthquakes all over the place, and the word being preached all over the. You know what I'm saying? The haters coming up, all that's being prophesied.
The men of the Lord were prophesying.
That's right.
He said, I'm going to give you passages according to mine heart.
Yep.
See?
And the word gonna hate you.
Yep.
Verse 19. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel. For they are dead which sought the young child's life. And he arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus did reign in Judah in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go thither.
All right, so he's like, "Oh, okay, keep going."
Notwithstanding, being warned of the Most High in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee, and he came and dwelt in the city called Nazareth.
So he was in Galilee. All right. We wanted him to be in Galilee. Galilee was considered what? A hood.
The hood.
Yep.
Yeah. Yahawashi grew up in the hood, man.
I was like, when you think about it, the only reason he sent, the reason why he sent him to the hood is because the king was in the king was in Israel, so he had to make sure he got him close enough to realize to where he could peep the scene. You know what I'm saying? He always set it up to where it was the Most High was setting that thing up from the jump. So he took him from Egypt, but he kept on getting closer and closer to Israel.
Right.
He kept on getting closer and closer and closer until it was time for him to do his work there.
Yep.
Okay, and this is verse 23. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene.
He shall be called a Nazarene.
So it was a reason. So it was a reason for that.
There was a reason for that. Everything was fulfilled prophecy.
Come on,
bop, 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 bop. And but that's why they said when we read in John, any good thing comes out of Nazareth. Ugh.
Yep.
You know, and that's how they look at the prophets today.
Right.
That's how they look at the men of the Lord today. Like, oh, good, on that, rough ass niggas.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Because these people are not spiritual. Okay?
Yeah, this is an article, a real rattlesnake.com. It's called "Can Any Good Come Out of Nazareth?" All right. It says Nazareth was no Rome then or now, and there are many modern-day Nazareths. The legacy of this town persists today in every backwoods, forgotten, impoverished village that the empire has left behind.
Say it again. Read that one more time.
All right. The legacy of this town persists today in every backwoods, forgotten, impoverished village that the empire has left behind.
That's basically you go to Oakland, South Dallas,
Oak Cliff.
West Philly.
Yep.
All right.
You said Oakland?
Yeah.
That's
South side,
Oakland.
anything.
Was it
Yep.
Bridgeport, Connecticut?
Bridgeport, yeah. The toilet seat of America, basically. That's
Okay.
what they say. All right. It says the spirit of Nazareth echoes today in every ostracized and occupied city and county where outsiders are expecting no good thing to come from.
Mm-hmm.
Nazareth is Detroit, Rio,
Look
Calcutta,
yeah.
Selma, Inglewood. All right.
Compton.
It says Nazareth is Egypt. All right, Uruguay, Palestine. It's whatever place the empire has turned its nose in the air and looked away from that bears the battered, resilient spirit of Yahawashi's hometown. All right. It said, then as now we see Nazareth to the world was no special thing. People weren't expecting big things from Nazareth. So maybe it's not entirely surprising that in John, the first chapter, Nathanael's first question to his friend Philip upon hearing the Messiah's hometown is...
And it's a spiritual thing that his name is Nathaniel, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that spiritual? Like, that's exactly how that nigga act, bro.
Yeah. Right, not that this Nathaniel...
No, not that.
But it's just something to take...
It's just like, wow,
All right. It says, I mean, doubt the inhabitants of Nazareth ever thought they would bear the greatest of their Jewish prophets, the Son of the living God. I doubt they thought their name would ever be remembered, all right, as the sacred home of God, the Nazarene. Nobody, including the Nazarenes themselves, thought any good could come from there. They'd given up hope.
They giving up hope, man.
Yep. Yep. But it is just such a place, such a rundown, scarcely known, scoffed at place that God himself chooses to call home. Yep.
And that's who he's dealing with, man. The Most High, like, he deals with those ragtag men. Those men that have put off everything in this world. They ain't got nothing, man. So they wholly set on pleasing Yahawashi and Yahawashi.
Because nothing else is work.
Yeah.
Nothing else is work. They ain't giving up hope. Say, where did they give up hope in?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until the Lord came on the scene, they ain't had nothing else to hope for. And then when they saw those prophecies coming to pass, they was like, oh shit. You know? It's the same thing.
I got a precept, Mario.
Go ahead.
This is Zephaniah 3:12. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord.
Exactly, man. They from those hoods, and they're afflicted and poor people, man.
The bums that didn't have no more hope.
That's right, man. Because they gonna have trust, they gonna have that hope, they gonna have that faith, right? They gonna be rich in faith, like we read in James 2nd chapter.
That's right.
Okay, is there more? All right, so we want to go into that word Nazareth real quick. We want to go into that word Nazareth.
Okay, a little bit more.
All right.
It says, it's important to remember that Yahawashi did not live in a grand place nor an empty desert. He was either, it said, he lived in the community of the least. Okay? My God chose to live amongst the poor, All right, even Moses, when you read about Moses, it said he'd rather suffer affliction with his people. Okay. Well, look, man, a lot of like Yahawashi could have took his talent, man, and been a man. He could have had all the denarii he wanted,
Bro,
man.
he could have been going in.
You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of us, man, who have talents in this so-called world, man, that we've given up. Just like our forefathers, like it talks about Moses, we'd rather suffer affliction. We know we look crazy as hell, but it's for the it's for the benefit of the kingdom of heaven. Man.
Yeah, call that article that was asking for an article.
All right, it's called realrattlesnake.com. I'll post it on my Google Plus, show them off right now, actually.
Yeah.
But it says a real rattlesnake meets his maker. Says, can any good thing cometh out of Nazareth? You know, and once the video is posted, we'll just put it on the comment board. But it's beautiful, you know, when you look these things up and you get into the crux of the situation, man. We're dealing with the same thing our forefathers deal with, man.
That's right.
Because, man, where the hell do you think we from, man? The worst of the worst. Now, some of us took on the mentality of the hood, some of us didn't. I never took on the mentality of the hood.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm from.
Yep.
Some of those ways are in me, man. You see what I'm saying? That's just the part of the story. Go. All right. It says, let's see.
I'm going to read a couple of these off.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we got a Bible teacher, SC, Jeremiah 23:29. It is not my word, like as a fire, said the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. Somebody put the Greek for Nazareth, GMS, Wisdom Over Riches, Strong's G3478, Nazareth, the guarded one. DTA put on the elect. Bible teacher SC, Hebrews 11:25. Choose rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. 2 Corinthians 8:9. For ye know the grace of our Lord Yahawashi, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that ye through his poverty might be rich.
Woo!
That's a cut right there.
That was a cut. You see? And you got Nate. He made an article talking about John the Baptist, camel hair.
Yeah.
It said camel hair. And he compared, he talking about camel hair ain't cheap. Blah, 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 blah. But that story wasn't meant to talk about how much camel hair costs, man. God damn, niggas ain't shit, man.
Ain't shit, man.
And we go contend against you, man. The men of the Lord are going to always be set against the 2/3, man.
I said, but why can't I say, but y'all get to say whatever y'all want, we can't say nothing.
Yeah. Do it that well. Niggas really believe you won't do it that well.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all get to get on the comment board and just say whatever, spew whatever, and we just gotta take that?
Yeah.
No. That's what I'm saying. We've been set up in this incarnation to fight you niggas, man. And we ain't gonna lose this time, Lord willing. Because back in the day, all the prophets got killed, but now the prophets gonna be raised up.
Mm-hmm.
According to the whole role, that's what's gonna happen. That's how the story gonna play out. The whole movie, the hero get beat up. The villain winning. You know what I'm saying? But it's always at the end when he want to just lay out his whole plan. And yeah, we gonna have this and this and this, and all these people gonna die. This gonna be your fault. They gonna set up this grand scheme, and then the hero always end up on top at the end.
Yeah.
Cause you didn't seize your opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You niggas is finna fall, man. You niggas is finna fall, man. Just like the motherfuckers did back then.
Yep.
Let his blood be on us and our children. Oh yeah, it is. It is. Better watch what you wish for, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And brother talking about how camels are unclean animals.
Yeah.
Get that in Isaiah 11:1. We're gonna make a point here, Akim.
All right. This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Right. And it says that a branch was gonna read that again. Let me get it right.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
It says a branch shall grow out of his roots. Now, when you look this word up in the Hebrew, the word is natazarah. All right, like natazura. All right, that's where you get that word Nazareth. All right, you see that?
So the branch is capitalized.
That's right. That's why that branch is capitalized, man. Okay. So you look that word up. It says sprout, shoot, branch. Okay, and it's talking about Yahawashi.
This is Isaiah 11:2. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord.
Yeah, man. So that branch is Yahawashi, man. Okay, and that's how everything is going to be opened up. That's how everything is opened up unto us. Okay, and those men that came from the areas around Galilee, they were looked down upon.
Yep.
They was considered bums, brute beasts. That's how they talked about the men that were from Galilee. Your garments are wrinkled. Oh my gosh. Why do y'all talk that way? You know, that's how they
talk that way.
That's how they treated the men that were from Galilee.
Right.
Who are these niggas? How dare these niggas?
Yeah. Even the men that was building at the time of Nehemiah and Ezra and Zerubbabel, all right, they were looked at as thugs, man. That rebellious generation or nation, man. Okay, and when you do the research on the disciples, they were looked at as troublemakers in Rome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor.
Yeah.
And reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with his breath, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.
Boom. Can we go back to John 7 and 15? Start at 14.
John 7 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is John chapter 7, verse 14. Now about the midst of the feast, Yahawashi went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters, having never learned?
How did he know all this stuff? The Most High gave him all the instruction and made him a quick understanding. He gave him the knowledge, man. He set him up. Go ahead.
Yahawashi answered them and said, My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me.
He's speaking the words of Yahweh, man, directly. Go ahead.
If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High, or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory.
Like Tazariah.
Yeah.
In every video, he gets to have his name in the title. Tazariah does this, Tazariah does. He gets the glory. That's why he essentially loves Sinai TV.
Yeah.
Because he gets the glory. See, when you go about this thing according to the spirit of Yahawashi, he gets the glory and you just got to be a servant, then it becomes a problem to a nigga. Because he don't really get glorified like that, man.
Yep.
This is Zephaniah 3 and 12. It says, I will also leave in the midst of thee, and in the midst of thee is in the midst of the four corners of America, man. Okay? All scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. The men of the Lord. The Lord is going to leave a small remnant, all right? It says, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people. Mm-hmm. So the men of the Lord are going to, according to the world, what's that, in Wisdom of Solomon? In the sight of men,
Chapter 3.
Yeah, get that real quick. You see what I'm saying? But it says, an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. So through these afflicted and poor and what seems to be weak to the world, okay, Yahawashi is working a mighty work, man. These men that are hated, okay, and looked at as crazy, niggas still ain't got over the fact that the Bible has a rape law. These niggas are sitting there calling themselves Hebrew Israelites, talking about Yahawashi going. Do you know what's going to happen when Yahawashi return, man?
I said, but the Bible talk about murder.
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing about that. What? It's planned. It was already written. So if the Lord will come back and kill all of these people, that's murder.
Mm-hmm.
That don't bother you?
Yeah.
Fuck y'all, man.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch ass niggas, man.
I got a question.
Fuck you, Baloo. And die. You belong at the end of a hanging rope, man.
Yeah.
If the white man rallied together and came into your house and got you and hung you on the tree, we would rejoice, man. You ain't right, man. Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3. I'm gonna start at the top.
Yeah.
But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High.
Right, the soul of the righteous, man. Go ahead.
And there shall no torment touch them.
Right, go ahead.
In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die.
In the sight of the unwise, in the sight of a bitch ass nigga, they seem to be unwise, man. You want me to get 53 first?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Isaiah 53:1. Who hath believed our report?
Yeah, man, you got to be in the spirit to receive this thing. Go ahead.
And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?
Mm-hmm.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
Because it goes back to that being from Nazareth. It goes back to the sentiment about the people from Galilee, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
But who's going to believe that Yahawashi was was that person that was sent? Who's going to believe?
Right.
You got to be in the spirit of Yahawashi to receive this thing. Okay? It's not going to come looking pretty. It's not going to come all glamorous the way our nation wants it to be. Especially the way that Baloo wants it.
Yeah.
You know? He wants it to come with lipstick and, you know what I mean?
Cheetos.
With Sunday dress. And it's not going to come. It's not going to come like that, man. Okay? Go ahead.
When we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. For he is despised and rejected of men,
Mm-hmm.
a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's talking about Yahawashi.
Yep.
This is what he had to bear when he came onto the planet Earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mostly for his works, but a lot of it had to do with where he was from. And see, the world is supposed to look at us and say those are bums. Not Israelites.
Yeah.
If you understand the scriptures.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It says, surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted.
Mm.
He was wounded for our transgressions. And this is talking about the leader of our nation, man.
Yeah.
This is the leader of our nation, man.
He had to take the load.
So how much more his men, his disciples?
That's right.
It says, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes are we healed.
Mm. And with his stripes we are healed, man. With the sacrifice that he made, we're healed. Okay? And so that's why we fight, and that's why we have the testimony of Yahawashi, so we can get the hell up out of here. Okay?
Let me read this real quick.
Okay.
Verse 7 says, he was oppressed and he was afflicted like to turn the other cheek. He was oppressed. He was under the rule of the Rome. He couldn't send those legions on Herod. What's his name? The Pontius Pilate. He couldn't do those things because that wasn't his king. That wasn't his time.
Yeah.
So he was oppressed right along with the other Israelites there, man.
I'll say, but one thing that made him push forward is he understood the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, he knew that he couldn't do nothing. That's why we take L's now, because we got to go through it too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Ariella was talking earlier about a loss he had to take just yesterday.
Yeah.
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
Knowing good damn well you could have
Oh, man.
bent his ass up.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the point. You know?
That wasn't the point at all.
The servant is not greater than the master, man. We're going to have them times where we got to take them L's.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Get that no gal foul in their mouth. Let me finish this real quick. It says he was It says, and as a sheep before the shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth, and he spoke all the words of the Most High Yahweh. It says, he was taken from prison and from judgment. Who that sound like? People from the hood, man.
Yep.
Okay, it says, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living, and the transgression of my people he was stricken. All right, this is the point. It says, and he made his grave with the wicked. All right, and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was there any deceit in his mouth. Meaning he had 100% truth.
And he got killed for having it.
Right.
He had 100% truth, and he got killed anyway.
Right.
Nobody believed it. Who was this nigga? Oh, from Nazareth?
Yeah.
All that.
Right. Now, when you read John 7, or was that 17? John 17, when he prayed for 17, right?
Yep.
All right. He prayed for these particular men, right? And just like it says, neither was no transgression or no gall found in his mouth. That's how it's going to be for his men.